What's going on, YouTube? We're back again. This time we're here with something a bit different. I want to really kind of lean into Tekken a bit more. It's something that I like grew up playing, but never really like learning about it. Like obviously it has some of the coolest characters I think in its own universe. A lot different from the Marvel versus Capcom games, which I think were my like primary games, like growing up, just playing them more, being more familiar with Marvel and all of that, just being into comics and stuff. But I kind of want to like lean into this and like actually learn it because, and it kind of goes hand in hand with like Street Fighter 6. Like I really enjoy watching the current game or like the current versions of these games. Was it Tekken 8, I think, and then Street Fighter 6. So I want to learn how to play it, but there's no way I'm gonna just go buy it. Like buy either one of those. So what better way is there to start than kind of like maybe mastering or trying to get good at some of these games where I have them at my disposal now, and I can just practice and really figure out like what the game is, figure out the mechanics, like how are you like rewarded for different things. So that's what we do, and that's what we're going to do for this. We're going to really kind of try to dig in and figure out what characters we like, what is our play style, what we like, what we don't like, and do that. So for this video we picked Paul. He's a character that was like a bit familiar with me. I've just kind of, went and chose a character like who I knew and I felt like was pretty solid. Not really knowing like what his strengths or weaknesses are. So we just kind of dove in here and seeing like what he can do. You get a grab there. Like for whatever reason, it's like I'm a like a heavy kicker for like these characters. Like I love the kicks; they're really powerful, and they're effective. They have a good knockup. So yeah. One thing I did notice is that like I was playing a lot slower for some reason. Like I was thinking the game is a lot slower than it actually is. Like this is a pretty fast game. It may not look that way like right off the bat, but like you still have to play pretty quick with your fingers. So that was something that kind of took me a minute to get used to. I always played Steve. Like Steve was my guy. He was the boxer. I don't know. Like Steve was like, I was a Steve player for PlayStation 2. So he's not on this one. So we definitely will have to get the PS2 emulator and get that Tekken. But yeah, you just kind of see us going back and forth here. We're just learning really. I did like a little, not playthrough, but like an arcade run before where I was just testing. I think I played as Law, but I wasn't really like into it. I was more so just playing the game for the first time. But here I actually want to learn, Someone left a comment previously and, they kind of helped me out with like learning how to like sidestep. So I tried to incorporate that a little bit. You might see me do that, not really knowing like exactly what I'm doing or like when the proper times or moments to do it are. But, we're going to learn. I'm going to do some research and really understand the mechanics of this game because I really have no clue. Like, there's so many moves, there's so many things you can do. Like, what exactly should my playstyle be? Like, how do you play properly, Like, I've been winning some of these matches, but it's like, like how, Like, could I explain how? Not really. I'm just kind of, hitting or like landing some hits. Obviously, we kind of want to incorporate highs and lows and, just make sure they're blocking both. So we're kind of going through this. Right here we have Jin. And And I think in the first video I made, I lost to Jin, and I just, you know, cut the video then. But here we're seeing he's playing like a lot more aggressive. And that's another thing too. Like it's just the game I have to get used to. Like these mechanics are just so interesting. Like the way you can roll and like get up and like roll into a attack from being on the ground is so interesting. So you have to like watch that. There's just like so many more mechanics to this game, but I definitely feel like this game is probably a lot more rewarding once you actually understand what you're doing and understand how to play. Like you would much rather be a good Tekken player versus a good Street Fighter character or a player. So honestly, I kind of want to learn both. I know they're both different and separate, but I feel like Tekken is definitely a round one. You know, Tekken definitely has a place in the fighting game world, and you know, it's as big as it is for a reason. I'm not really the Mortal Kombat guy. Like, I think that is probably the least out of the three. Like, I can do Capcom and Tekken, but Mortal Kombat's not really my thing. But here you see we get a win pretty easily versus Eddie. We hit some kicks. We whiff on that. We whiff on some things. You know, we're not really knowing the move sets. We're really just kind of, I won't say spamming. Like we're kind of trying to get like an understanding for like the pacing and like the movement as far as like dash running, sidestepping, you know, rolling into an attack. I love those kicks though. I feel like those kicks are really crazy in this game. They do so much damage. And you saw he did like a nice little combo to us, but we still were able to get the win. Yeah, there's just so many moves, and it's like, I guess you just have to pick one character and kind of lock in so you can really learn. We're just mixing some stuff up, seeing what hits. And like those like attacks when you get off the ground are like, I don't know, like like that's gonna take a while to get like used to, because you have to be ready to block. Like you can't just, you know, start attacking. You have to really play like in a patient kind of manner in this game, but it's also fast paced. This is a very like complex game. She's a very quick character. Yeah. And she does a bit of, you know, a bit of damage to us. So we're trying to block, but it's like, I really don't know. So I have a lot of learning to do, but I think that's what this, you know, series is going to be, because I really want to learn. Like I want to figure out the mechanics. I want to understand what I'm doing and like why I'm doing it. You know, I don't just like playing, which is what I've been doing in this video, just playing, just kind of learning on the fly, but you know. And like I have no real way to, or I don't have any knowledge of like combos, so like if I get a knock up, you know, I don't really know how to continue or anything. You know, we're just kind of seeing how to play, really. But this is very fun, I will say this, like, and it is like promising, you know. And I was really surprised that I even made it this far, like. But this is where we have some trouble here. Flaw. I feel like he's a really good character in this game. Like kicks, I don't know if kicks are just good in this game specifically, or kicks are just like the primary way, but like he probably has like the best kicks. Like that damage is crazy. You know, the overheads, it's just so much, so. But we're definitely getting better, just learning. Yeah, this dude was kicking our ass, literally. And I wasn't really blocking. Yeah, we got perfect. So yeah, we definitely were doing something wrong. But you know, we didn't give up. We're gonna figure it out. But we definitely have to start blocking. Like, for whatever reason, I just wasn't blocking in this game. Like, when I play Marvel vs. Capcom, I will block. But here, it's like I'm just trying to attack. But you can't really do that. You have to be patient. And I guess, like, when you do block, that's when you can get an opening. So we lost twice already. Or no, this is the first loss of the second match, so. Yeah, like that. Like, it's like there's no reason for me to just get hit like that. You should be prepared for that to happen, or you know, like they're gonna roll and get up. So this is our third match. You know, like what is that? Obviously, some kind of overhead, but like, you know, we get a bit of damage here. Trying to pace, you know. Step back. He hits us with a grab. I mean, like, and that's the thing too. If you get caught in something, like you're very liable to just get wiped out. Let's see if we can get a win here. I don't know what happens there. Okay. So we start off decent, then he just, you know. Like that, that's crazy. Yeah, that's a lot of damage coming out and you not being able to do anything. It's like you have to be really careful in this game. I'm kind of learning. So, this is the fourth match versus Law. So, see how we win this one, if we do. We're trying to block, but it's not really, obviously we're not doing it properly, and we get smacked again. So, yeah, Law and his kicks are like definitely giving us some trouble. But yeah, like if you guys have any tips, you know, just game knowledge, please let me know. I'm here to, you know, take everything and just learn. Not really. I mean, yeah, I can go on YouTube and watch a bunch of tutorials and clips and all that, but it's like I'd rather just figure it out, you know, over time. You know, I'm not really in a rush. Like, you know, let's actually learn it, and we get our first win. I think we did like a dashing kick, so those I think can kind of catch your opponent off guard. You get like that running head start. And you can see we're kind of learning, like, once we knock them down, we kind of back up a bit. We're definitely blocking a bit more. We hit some kicks. And for whatever reason, it always feels good, like, when you get the KO to just keep it hitting them. Like, yeah, we finally get the win. So, now this is where, you know, it got a bit tougher. Hachi. I know this guy's the boss from the PS2 Tekken. Like, he was the, you know, he had those huge sandals and he was just a powerful, strong dude. But we get a win for the first one. Yeah, those like rolling kicks from the ground are so lethal. Maybe this is just like a very kicking game. I don't know. You guys let me know. And then he really just woke up this match. Yeah, see how he was like sidestepping there? Like, we gotta really figure that out. And he just kicks us in the chest, and we're out. So yeah, we're gonna definitely make this a series of just learning Tekken, and this is the first episode, Learning Tekken 1 featuring Paul. Paul. It's so funny how like everyone has these special names and he's just Paul. And you see we just get destroyed. He steps on us, like, you know, so. Yeah. Any tips, suggestions, let me know. I'll see you guys in episode 2.